Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and this is going to be my AEW Dynamite report for September the 30th. We had two good matches and whole lot of nothing on this episode of AEW Dynamite. So let's get right to it. So first note is that I saw on Twitter that the AEW video game is actually in production, which is pretty cool. It took forever for TNA to get a video game. So AEW being able to pump out action figures and video games and stuff like that within the first year is actually not bad. Got to give them credit for that. That's assuming, of course, this is not bullshit and it's really going to be a video game. I'm not much of a gamer myself, so I really don't care if the game is any good or not. But I wonder really how they're pulling the strings to get all this stuff done so fast because it takes a long time to get the licensing deals and all this stuff done. So this probably was something that has been worked on for a while now. Maybe even right out of the jump, right out of the gate. But it's still cool for the fans if they have fans that might be gamers or something like that. It might be fun, which I'm assuming most AEW fans are gamers, especially when it looks like one of the skits we'll get into later. So the show started out really good. The show started with Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin, and they had a hell of a match. Uh, AEW is full of twinks, very skinny guys with no muscle definition whatsoever. They're skinny, they're short, they're kind of small. But in this match, these two guys, they laid their shit in. Starks and Allen, they didn't just do a bunch of flips. They did some good stuff. And I was impressed. Ricky Starks, I've already was a fan of his. He's a little, like I said, he's a little effeminate for me, but it works for him. Like you can do effeminate and it be okay. Goldust, Jericho in his earlier years was a little effeminate. Dalton Castle in a Ring of Honor, The Rock even a little bit. Even and Ricky Starks can pull it off a little bit. There's always something a little effeminate about pimps and people who are really good at men who are very into their own looks, very prim and proper guys. And Ricky Starks seems like one of those type of guys. And there's always something a little effeminate about it. I'm not saying like he's a sissy or nothing like that. That term is for some guys I'm gonna use later. But there's always something a little effeminate about it, you know. But Ricky Starks, he laid his shit in this match, But Darby Allin came in kind of hard. I was impressed. There was a spot in the match where Cage interfered, and Will Hobbs came in to fight him off. So now Cage and Will Hobbs will fight next week for the FTW title, which I forgot existed. I completely forgot the FTW title existed because who cares about Brian Cage? Who the hell cares? There was a great submission hold from Darby Allin. It had his arms locked. I really did not know what the move was called, and it seemed like something Excalibur would have called, but I wasn't paying attention. It was a great counter spear by Sparks. He did I believe it was Allen did something off from the top ropes and Starks speared him, which is really cool. And then he Allen kicked out. Darby Allin wins with the coffin drop, but I forgot to mention this. There was like some black dude that was talking at the beginning of this video of the show, like a random black guy talking about, you think you know Darby Allin, you want to be like Darby Allin. I'm about to show you. He's gonna make you his bitch. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy? And why should I care? Why the hell should I care about this? Like, what's going on here? I don't care about this. I don't think anybody ever explained who that guy was or why Darby Allin was on like a giant slide or a dirt road or something in a body bag. Look, I don't get this kid. Like, he has the look, he has the mood, the demeanor. He's aggressive. He walks around with a goddamn skateboard. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit his character at all. So Cody did his promo. He seems to ate up so much time. I think Cody's promo was one of the longer things on the show. So Cody looks like an Elvis impersonator with his black hair. And he cut this promo talking about, losing in 3 minutes, and it was psychologically damaging. And he went to Hollywood and was with all these famous Hollywood luminaries, but all he could think of was how he lost in 3 minutes. And then he said that, there was people talking about they're the ace, and there's, he said, I should be the ace, but only 3 people can call themselves the ace. He said, Sheeta, Moxley, and Brody Lee, basically the singles champions. They're the only people who can call themselves the ace of AEW. They're bringing over New Japan lingo already. So when asked if he's going to accept Brody Lee's challenge for a dog collar match, Cody says no at first. Then, of course, he goes and he's dramatic. He walks off. It's all very phony, by the way, because babyface never turns down a fight. That's the stupidest thing in the world. Nobody ever believes a babyface is going to turn down a fight. It doesn't make any sense. Now, Cody is probably going to be a heel next week. And I'm just saying, he's the babyface for the purpose of this program. And the babyface does not turn down a fight. So he comes back and he says, no regrets, no blah, blah, blah. He fires up. And then Brody Lee comes out and they fight. And then they fight some more. And then they do some more fighting. And it was all boring and stupid. Then Brandy came out and she jumped all over the Dork Order. The Dork Order. The Dorks. Just call them the Dorks. She did a flip on all of the Dorks. She got attacked by Anna Jay. It was just a lot going on. So the FTR did a promo after that. FTR basically said that the Best Friends and the Young Bucks don't deserve title matches. And then, well, that was pretty much the crux of their promo. Is that, well, Dave Meltzer must like these guys, but that doesn't mean that they deserve title matches, which was a cool line. They were talking to Tony Schiavone. And then Matt Jackson comes out of nowhere and super kicks Tony Schiavone. And very smartly, the heels said, well, why didn't you kick us? We're standing right here. Why didn't you kick us? And then Matt Jackson walks away. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I don't know. Everything was good until that small child's foot hit Tony Schiavone in the face. Now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what's going on? I get that the Young Bucks are angry. I get that. But why didn't he just kick FTR? Wouldn't that have made more sense? Even as a heel, you could attack other heels as a heel. Why would you attack the commentator? I don't understand why they are attacking people who are not involved with this. It's just so fucking stupid. What is even going on here? These people are horrible. They're horrible individuals. They're like the worst. They're bad baby faces. They're bad heels. The Young Bucks just do not work. Okay, so we get a short promo from SCU. And then we go into, as SCU is leaving, and, they've been given their props by FTR. They say, hey, they're worthy of being facing the champions. So SCU, as they walk past, they walk past Shawn Spears, who was, absorbing their charisma as they walk past him, and he's just hanging out. He's just standing there, good luck, guys. I'm we're still on the Shawn Spears stuff. Can we get rid of this guy? Can we please get rid of this guy? So I was surprised to see Scorpio Sky as one of the wrestlers in this match, because he had been separate on his own for a long time, and without using the SCU theme song. But I get it that Christopher Daniels is 50, and Scorpio Sky is not that old, and Kazarian needs to have a partner, so that makes sense. But this was a really good match. FTR versus SCU was really good. It was like AEW was doing well. The Cody promo, it was too long, and it was fake drama. It was fake drama. But at least it was fiery, and but it was still incredibly phony. But this match was really good. I didn't like some of the spots. It was a classically wrestled tag team match. I didn't like the top rope power slam spot, because it looked like Dax Harwood almost separated his goddamn shoulder. And it was one of those matches where it took 15 minutes, but there was no reason to believe SCU would win. And sometimes when there's no reason to believe that the other person can win, you're really just kind of dragging it out. Like sometimes you just want to have good matches for the sake of having good matches. And that's kind of what AEW does. But you can cut this match to 10 minutes because there was no reason to believe SCU would win this match. Match was good. Tully helped the guys win by grabbing Scorpio Sky's leg. A really classic heel move. You hold down the foot so he can't kick out. So then there was an announcement for a full gear 8-man tournament. Now I didn't mention this because I wasn't paying attention much during this time, but Adam Page was on commentary during the SCU FTR match, the acronym match. And when they announced the tournament, they announced 3 of the people who are going to be in. It's an 8-man tournament, number 1 contender. The finals will be at Full Gear. The winner will be, of course, the number 1 contender for the AEW World Title. And 3 people were announced: Phoenix, Jungle Boy, and Kenny Omega. So when Kenny Omega was announced, Adam Page got all pissy, and like a jealous girlfriend, he stormed off. And I just this is some really sissy stuff they're doing here. This stuff is horrible. This does not make, I guess they're trying to do Brokeback Mountain. These guys, is every Kenny Omega tag team thing going to be latently homosexual? I'm cool with it if that's what they're going to do, because I'm not that attached to this stuff. But it just seems weird to me that Adam Page is taking this stuff very personal and not tough guy stuff. He's being, what they call him, the anxious millennial cowboy. This is not good. This does not make him look cool. You should always try to make people look cool. I know there's this gay cowboy singer. I forget what his name is, but I stumbled across that video online. I think it might have been suggested to me because I was watching something else. But I know there's a gay cowboy singer now, and I guess that's Adam Page's new gimmick. But I don't remember what the guy's name is, so I can't make a nice little snap joke about it. So then you had Isaiah Cassidy versus Chris Jericho, and this was not good. This was not good. Isaiah Cassidy has no muscle definition whatsoever. Like most people on AEW, has no muscle definition whatsoever. He does not look like a physical threat to Chris Jericho, who is a bloated Chris Jericho. The only thing that really matters in this match is Jericho got knocked into the crowd, and then he shoved Dr. Luther, who then punched him and then clotheslined him back over the railing, and the referee did not disqualify him. I have no, now let's say that the referee didn't see it. Okay. Still shouldn't have been done. Still was weird. But that was odd. That was really odd. Then immediately this was followed by Isaiah Cassidy doing some type of flippity-doo over the top rope and taking the entire inner circle down. Jericho nearly botched a suplex later in the match, where it looked like he was trying to hold him up like the British Bulldog does, or Lashley or something like that. But, somehow the kid's neck got turned a little or something to that effect, and Jericho had to hurry up and go down with it to make it not look like shit. So, Orange Cassidy. Isaiah Cassidy he broke out some Chris Jericho moves. He did a lion salt. He did a code breaker. Of course, it wasn't enough. He tried to do some type of springboard, such and such, and got hit with a Judas effect, and he ended up getting pinned. And then immediately, Jericho jumps back, pretty much gets out of the ring, and goes back after Dr. Luther. And this is where I found out that Dr. Luther has been teaming with some skinny, I'm guessing Hispanic dude, maybe just a plain old white dude in a mask, maybe, named Serpentico, and they are known as the Chaos Project. And Jericho and Hager are going to wrestle them. So he's feuding with tag teams. He's trying to get, these tag teams involved, but Dr. Luther has probably had, 3 matches on Dynamite, 3 maybe. So I don't know. You should kind of expose these people to the audience first, and so when they are interacting with somebody like Jericho, it actually matters. So then we find out that this guy, this Dr. Luther, is actually an old training partner of Jericho's from the dungeon of the Stu Hart's dungeon. And I was like, okay, guy's been on the roster a long time, and we haven't seen him that much. But they're gonna wrestle the next week, which would be October the 4th or something like that. So then we get Miro and Kip Sabian. They had a vignette about them playing games. They were at an arcade. They were throwing balls at a screen. I don't know what that is. I'm not a gamer. Kip Sabian was wearing a belly cut shirt again. Again, we doing the twink stuff. Miro had a thing about Rumspringa. He kept talking about Rumspringa. Because it is a real thing, Rumspringa, about the Amish. They send their kids out into the world. They get to party or whatever, and then they get to make a decision about whether they want to stay out into the real world or they want to be Amish. They have to make a decision afterwards. And for some reason, Miro just kept talking about Rumspringa. But the real cool thing is Billy Mitchell, who is like a gaming world champion. One of my favorite documentaries, probably my favorite documentary. I love it so much I bought it on DVD. It's called The King of Kong. It is about Billy Mitchell versus Steve Wiebe playing Donkey Kong, and who got the highest score. Now at the end of the documentary, Steve Wiebe was the Donkey Kong champion. Now since then, I have no idea what's taking place, but I know that Billy Mitchell probably got some of these records back because he's a professional arcade player. And he has been that since like 1986. And, that was a fantastic documentary. If you've never seen The King of Kong as a documentary, you need to go out of your way and go watch it. The King of Kong was great. And it was about gaming. But of course, a lot of people say it was propaganda, that Steve Wiebe was cheating. There's a lot of accusations of everybody cheating when it comes to these gaming systems and these gaming things. That's kind of what I feel like. If you're not playing the game for fun, but for records and recognition, it's kind of hard. Like, it seems a little soulless to me. You play the games for fun, competition and stuff like that, But Billy Mitchell was here. He was the coolest person in the thing because Miro was wearing like pajama pants and like a Ninja Turtles hat, and he was at least jacked. He was still jacked, so he got that going for him, is that he was jacked. So after we get Orange Cassidy and Best Friends. They're in the back, and FTR comes out, and FTR is still sweaty from their match, and they tell the Best Friends that there are main event spots for guys like them, and then there are mid card spots for backyarders like them. For main event spots for guys like FTR, and then there's mid card spots for backyarders like Best Friends, and Best Friends aren't any good, blah 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 blah. And then Best Friends threatened to punch them like on the schoolyard, and FTR flinch, and then Orange Cassidy calls them weenies. Weenies. Why are they so juvenile? Like, I don't get why Best Friends, that whole system right there, Orange Cassidy, all those guys, I don't understand why they're so juvenile. Can somebody explain that to me in the comment section? Like, what is the gimmick? Is the gimmick that they are, children on a playground? Because that's weird. These guys, Trent, I know, is at least 34, 35 years old. Come on. And yeah, FTR made fun of them for being mama's boys and everything too, but this was so weird, man. It was really, really weird. So then Orange Cassidy has a match. He has a match against 10, the number 10 of the Dorks. And 10 takes Orange Cassidy's shades, puts them on the other guy, who I think is, what the fuck is his name? John Silver, or Long John Silver. Short John Silver, because he's short. And he proceeds to do comedy, like with Orange Cassidy's glasses. And then, they have the match. They actually wrestle some type of full-length match, which is ridiculous. If it's over 3 or 4 minutes, it's pretty much a match length. And then somehow 10 gets Orange Cassidy over the rail. He's over the rail. And the Dark Order, the dorks, they mimic or they mock Best Friends by all doing it's 10, Short John Silver, and that other one. I don't have no idea who he is. And they hugged. Like, no, Best Friends hug. They did the triplet hug, like when Best Friends hug Orange Cassidy. And I said to myself, what is Dark Order supposed to be? Are they supposed to be dangerous cult members, dangerous business people, or are they comedy jobbers? What are they supposed to be? Why is half the Dark Order super serious and want to have a blood feud and beat people to death, and other half of Dark Order are fucking comedy dudes who lose all the time and yet want to have fun and play around? Why is Brody Lee not punishing them for fucking around in these matches? What is going on here? What is the consistent thread of the Dark Order? What is that character? What are they supposed to be? Why don't they have, like, okay, now we know that cults do tend to take people's individuality. So, okay, let's say that's why they were taking their names and giving them masks and giving them numbers, because they were being dehumanized. Okay. Then why isn't Brody Lee punishing them for fucking around? Like, they're mocking Best Friends. They're fucking losers. Why do they have time to do that? Shouldn't they be trying to win to prove to their master or their messiah or their exalted one that they're actually worthy of being in the Dark Order? Isn't that what you want? Why is it that half the Dark Order are fucking idiots? I don't get it. Fucking Colt Cabana is still in the Dark Order. Look, this has been going on for months. I don't care what anybody says about Retribution. You don't see half of Retribution being comedy goofs, and then the other half being dead serious. And then the leader not punishing the guys who are supposed to, because the leader is serious. He's in a blood feud. He wants to beat Cody to death. That's why he challenged him to a dog collar match. But then apparently he's perfectly okay with John Silver dancing around with Orange Cassidy's glasses. These two dudes hugging on it. All these dudes hugging each other. They're all fucking around. It's like, why is it that one dude is in, a fucking fight scene from a badass movie, and these guys are in fucking Wizard of Oz? What is going on here? Why is nobody paying attention to that? How do those two things fit? Whatever. Orange Cassidy won with an Emerald Fusion. They called it the Beach Break or whatever. Who cares? MJF comes into the Inner Circle locker room with jackets that we didn't really get to see what was on the jackets. At least I didn't get to see. He forgot Sammy Guevara's jacket. He brought them gifts for no apparent reason. Wardlow forgot to pack Sammy Guevara's jacket, so he got jackets for everybody except Sammy. Sammy was kind of hot about this, and Jericho and Sammy sort of in stereo decided to ask MJF why was he there. And then of course we get a call back to the Jericho MJF promo from who knows how many months ago, where Jericho asked MJF if he wanted to be in the Inner Circle. Then MJF said, no. Do you want me to be in the Inner Circle? And they went back and forth for like 30 seconds. And I was like, okay, boy, okay. I'm cool with this. I like that, MJF is trying to ingratiate himself to Jericho. He's trying to be a kiss ass. But at the same time, he's trying to avoid being labeled a kiss ass. He didn't want to just outright ask to be in the Dark Order. And Jericho is being an asshole who doesn't want to outright just say, hey, do you want to be in the Inner Circle? They're saying that basically these two prideful, arrogant heels won't just admit that maybe they like each other. Okay. And then Jericho kind of gives, when Sammy Guevara was about to give MJF a hard time, behind MJF's back, by the way, Jericho was like, no. I kind of like him. Maybe he's not an idiot. Maybe he's not a loser. And okay. And he goes back to drinking his bubbly. Okay. So Britt Baker comes out next and she wrestles Red Velvet, who is actually very, very cute. Oh, I didn't know. Look, she has a name that I've seen on AEW Dark a bunch of times. Like Red Velvet works a lot when it comes to AEW. I have not seen any match until this one, where she wrestled Britt Baker. So I had not seen any match she had ever been in. But I have seen her picture and I have seen her name a lot. But this is the first time I actually got to see her in action. And she's cute. I hope that's not a man. Because if it is, I'll feel bad. I feel real bad. You never can tell when it comes to AEW. But Red Velvet was kind of cute. And her work was not that bad either. They gave her a lot of offense. She got a lot of offense in on Britt Baker. And of course she lost because she's a jobber. That's what she does. So that was okay. That was cool. Then the main event was Jon Moxley versus an opponent of Eddie Kingston's opponent of Eddie Kingston's choosing. So I realized this when I listened to Eddie Kingston's theme song. I didn't sit down and listen to it. I was listening to it as I was watching the TV show. But it's almost sounds like a rip off of Bang Bang by Capone and Noriega. And I don't know if you ever heard, I don't know if anybody ever heard that song. And maybe, I haven't heard that song in a long time. I haven't heard that. Is it Bang Bang by Capone and Noriega, or is it a different song that I'm thinking of? I think it might be a different song that I'm thinking of, but it's like a DMX type of one, like one of those hard street songs. Maybe it's not Capone and Noriega. It might be somebody else, but it might have been the Locks or something. But it's like one of those hard street songs, and I have to sit down and listen to it like thoroughly because it does have a hip hop feel to it that's like late 90s rap. And I fucks with late 90s rap. The boots and jeans New York stuff. I kind of like that. So he comes out and he's with the referee. And he gives the referee a hard time about stopping the match because he didn't submit. He said something on Twitter that was pretty cool. And he's talked about like he had been in the business all this time and this is his first chance ever wrestling for a world title. And, the ref has to be, the ref has to let him die in the ring. He's like, this is my only chance, man. You got to let me die in there. I think that was really great. He said it on Twitter. He didn't say it in the ring. I was waiting for him to kind of repeat that, like for a wider audience, because that would have been like a great line to say. Like I know, and the gimmick is that Kingston has known this referee for 18 years or whatever. So he said he gives the referee a hard time. Like I didn't get pinned. I didn't submit. I didn't tap out. Why did you stop the match? And then it would have been a perfect time for the guy who cuts this promo. Like, it's my job to care about you. It's my job to protect you from yourself. And then Eddie Kingston could have been like, you know me. This is my first chance, my first opportunity to wrestle for a world title. You should have let me die. That would have been crazy. Like, that would have been crazy if he'd have dropped that line right there. But instead, he just basically called Pentagon and Phoenix to beat this guy up. Okay, this whole Eddie Kingston stuff is just filler because Lance Archer is got the Rona. But so Eddie Kingston picks the Butcher as Jon Moxley's opponent. Look, I'm not gonna shit on this. I'm really not. Okay, this is not a main event worthy match. And it certainly went too long. But I'm not gonna shit on this. The reason I'm not gonna shit on it is because you do need a champion to wrestle undercard people from time to time. It just needs to happen. You never know really what the other guy got. Like when Bret Hart used to wrestle the 1-2-3 Kid, or when Triple H wrestled Taka Michinoku, or something like that. Like you have to do that from time to time, because maybe you might see something out of the guy that wouldn't normally be in that spot. Didn't happen here. But I'm saying is there was an opportunity there. But the Butcher has an intimidating look, and he looks like the kind of guy who would give Jon Moxley a problem and give Jon Moxley a fight. which is a good thing. He's wearing a butcher's apron. He had the wild hair, completely different than when he debuted. When he debuted with that fucking monocle and his hair slicked back, he was dead in the water. He was dead in the water. I didn't give a fuck what he did after that. He was wearing a monocle. Fuck him. But now he's kind of leaning into the butcher part. He had the wild hair, the wild facial hair, the big bushy mustache. He looked like a serial killer. And I can get behind that. He got the thin and shit up top, but he looked like he will kill you. He looked like a butcher. That was fine. I like that. Didn't like this match though. I feel like they was wrestling underwater. Look, Moxie already is not that good. And the butcher is not that good. He almost, he was trying to choke Jon Moxley over the rope and he put his leg too high. His leg got caught in the top rope. So I was like, okay, we're just having one of those nights. But you gotta do it sometimes. Sometimes you gotta mix the opponents up. They really should have just done this in the middle of the card. If it was going to be the butcher, they should have did it in the middle of the card. I get that it's Jon Moxley. It's supposedly a title match too. You still could have did it in the middle of the card. And then you could have let Ricky and Darby main event. Because that match was actually good. Or you could have let FTR main event in SCU. But they ended the match with the Bulldog choke because Jon Moxley can beat everybody except MJF with the Bulldog choke. He didn't even try to use it in the match where his fucking finish was banned. Whatever. All right, so that's AEW Dynamite. Next week is going to be the dog collar match. I'm actually looking forward to that. I actually like the idea of a dog collar match. So that ought to be fun. But let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Like this video, share and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.